Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We're sitting here talking about Clash of the Champions 2017, the last pay-per-view for WWE in the year of 2017. I can honestly tell you that this pay-per-view is deep into December, and this is the show that really does not have that much of my attention, with it being on the SmackDown brand. Sometimes I've slighted it to the fact that I don't really have time to watch that much SmackDown, but honestly, this time of the year, especially getting this late into Christmas, there's a ton of things going on in the world right now, and WWE is not number one on the list. This show, to me, looks like it's filled up with a lot of, multi-team, multi-man matches. You've got the three-way for the United States Championship. You've got the four-way for the tag team title. There's AJ Styles going up against Jinder Mahal, and that one's already got people sort of yawning a little bit. But there is one match that is on the card that is going to be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens going up against Randy Orton and a partner to be named later. And now Shane McMahon is going to be the special guest referee of this match. And as an added stipulation, if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens lose this match, they are fired by WWE. Not fired by SmackDown, not loser leaves town, not pack your bags and now you're going to Monday Night Raw and you get what you want. You are fired from WWE. There is no going to NXT. There is no going anywhere else. You'll find yourself in Global Impact Wrestling. You'll find yourself on New Japan, but you will not be a part of the global icon WWE anymore. Let's just start this off from scratch. There's no chance in the world that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to lose this match. But my intrigue is sort of spiked by the fact of, trying to figure out who is going to be Randy Orton's special guest partner. Immediately, the first person I thought about would be the most thought about person, the champion of SmackDown. That would be AJ Styles. Then I said, oh, AJ's got that match against Jinder, so AJ's not going to be working twice. So who is another big-name babyface that they can stick in this match that, can work this match with them? And I couldn't think of anybody. Then I started to think, well, Kevin Owens has been a Universal Champion. He's held a lot of titles. Sami Zayn is a guy that I don't think has held any titles in WWE other than the NXT Championship for a minute before he got beat by Kevin Owens. So maybe there's a mid-carder that they could sort of put in here and sort of get over working with Randy. And then I started thinking Randy's not really going to work well with anybody, because it doesn't matter if he's a babyface or if he's a heel. There's nobody that they could really put there. So I said, they brought in Cena, and they used Cena for the Survivor Series show. Would they bring in Cena to team with Randy Orton? And that would make them a team. And then I started thinking about the history of Orton and Cena, and I'm sure there's been a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown where they've made these two guys team together, even though they're two guys that went through Ohio Valley together, and then they both debuted in WWE in 2002. They had about 1,000 matches between 2005 and 2010. And this bitter rivalry, are they going to be able to put this behind them for a Clash of the Champions match to be able to, I guess you can say, end Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? I don't think that John Cena has enough heat with either one of these guys in order to come back for the show. I know that Cena comes back every year and sort of does the Christmas shows, because that's some big money for WWE. They, I think they do Chicago, they do Madison Square Garden. But I really don't see him doing Clash of the Champions. I really don't see him doing two pay-per-views in a row, Survivor Series and Clash of the Champions, where he's not really billed up as a big deal as being on the show. I mean, when John Cena was eliminated from Survivor Series, he just rolled out of the ring and walked to the back. When we saw him last, when he got beat at No Mercy, we were really thinking that maybe John Cena wasn't going to be wrestling for a long time, that he was basically just sort of hanging up the boots and walking away from wrestling. I think the only person that could join this match is possibly the only person dumb enough to trust Randy Orton, and that would be Shane McMahon himself joining this match. I think that something has to happen on SmackDown next week where Shane becomes physical, and it's obvious the point that Shane has to join this match and wrestle in it, being that probably being the main event of the show, and that's a big deal enough to draw Shane McMahon in. Where they go from here, I'm not quite sure, because in my mind I was trying to think of somebody that could turn on Randy Orton and possibly join up with Owens and Zayn on their, anti-SmackDown, anti-Shane McMahon sort of faction that they have going on, which I still really don't know what the direction is that this team is going. It was obvious that they were going to try and stop them from winning at Survivor Series, but I don't really know what the end game of this faction is. The possibility of Randy turning on Shane, I think it's a possibility, but I don't think it's really going to happen. But you could see the RKO on Shane McMahon, and then possibly Randy moves into the title picture as a heel, but that would overshadow Owens and Zayn, and that brings it back to what the fuck are they doing with these guys. So this is possibly the one reason that I would watch this show, but although right now I don't know where I'm going to be, I believe on the 19th, but this show to me honestly seems skippable. I went a few years without even watching the TLC show because of the fact that, it was being held in December and there was other things to do in the world besides for watch WWE. So we'll see what's going down with the show come the 19th, but as of right now, this one's the one match that's got me thinking about what's going to happen. And I can honestly tell you, as of right now, I don't really know what's going to happen. Could we see Cena? Is it just going to be some sort of mid-card guy joining up? Is Shane going to be wrestling? Will Randy turn on Shane? Who will join with Owens and Zayn? These are all the questions that we need to be answered by Clash of the Champions, but we'll see on the 19th. Peace out, everybody.